Here a little early, just getting set up to see what it looks like. We'll get started here in a minute. So I'm a little early, but for those of you that are already here, if you want to grab your supplies, you'll need the kit that I sent to you. You'll need some foam squares, some adhesive of your choice, pair of scissors or paper trimmer. And so we'll give everybody a couple more minutes before we get started. All right, why don't we go ahead and get started? So what we're going to start off by doing is opening up our kit. And inside of your kit, you will have your papers, some cardstock, your album base, and your clip art. So what we're going to start off by doing is building the album base. So I'm going to set everything aside except for my album. And you have 3 of them. So one fold has already been done for you. So we're now going to fold the others. Oops, sorry about that. Just like this. So folding in on all of our score lines. Okay, so here is the base of your book. What we're going to do now is double check that they are all lined up and that your fold line is to the left and your inner flap is on the inside. We're going to pick up our glue You don't need a lot of this, but you do want to be sure that you get it somewhat up to the edge, not too close because you don't want it to ooze out. I like to pick them up, hold them in place. The most important part of this is making sure that your spine is straight, that you have these lined up really well. Okay, so now I'm going to add my third panel. Again, doesn't take a lot. Make sure that your inside flap is on your right, on the inside, and lay it down. Again, holding it up, making sure that all of your seams on here are nice and flush. So that is how you put together the base of the album. Super easy, right? So the next thing that we're going to want to do is start cutting apart the clip art. Not the clip art, you know what I meant, my papers. So you're just gonna, if you're using a paper trimmer, that works well. I love using my Tonic scissors by Tim Holtz. It's got a nice grip. They're nice and long to help you keep a straight edge. Hey Rob, can you get me a paper trimmer, please? I forgot to grab one before I started. And if you leave a little bit of white behind, it's not going to hurt anything. If you ink your edges, you can just go right over that. Thank you. I am going to grab my ink. I'm not going to ink everything with you because it would just make this video way too long, but let me show you how to ink. I get this question often. So I'm just going to juice up with black ink. I'm holding my paper and just brushing along that edge. On my corners, I like to make them a little bit darker to give it a shadow effect. Hope that you can see that okay. Juice up again. So there is our front and back cover. Now what we need to do is cut our spine. If you're using a paper trimmer, it's not a problem. I just like to use my scissors. I feel like I can get it cut faster with scissors since they're just straight lines. But you do what you're comfortable with. Doing my inking. Okay. Set these aside. And let's put on our covers. What I like about this Nuvo glue is it doesn't take a lot, as you can see. Now, before we get started, let's just be sure that when you open it, your flap is here and everything is lined up. I have sometimes done it upside down. So with your wet glue, you can just wiggle that into place. Flip it over. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm actually here live.
What is special about Yeti? Mention the families. Oh, Yeti's just our mascot.
My TV decided to just unmute itself.
Go Yeti. Go Yeti.
So I've just done the spine and just lay it on there. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to get into our clip art. And you'll see that you have 3 different ladies to choose from depending upon what matches you the best. You know, I'm noticing that we're a little sideways, aren't we? Is that better? Yep, that's better. So I'll work this direction. So what you're going to want to do is choose the person that looks the most like you. I think I'm going to give this away as a gift since I already have one. So I'm going to choose the blonde. So I'm going to turn it upside down. Add my glue. And I'm just going to start stacking them. Now, if you want to use these for a different purpose, you don't have to stack them like I'm doing. You can use foam squares, but I like to use stacks of adhesive. I'm sorry, stacks of the same thing to give it depth. So do you see how here it has depth, but it's not using foam squares. So you're going to take all the ones that I included in your kit and just stack them up. And they're not all the same size. I did that to give it just a little bit more character depending on which one you are using. All right. So now we're just going to glue that right down onto our base. Perfect, huh? Okay, the other thing that I did, if you have any, is I put glossy accents on the heart, the bow, the heart, the white of her eyes, and then her nails. And I think that just gave it another bit of character to it. But again, you know, that's completely optional if you have it. If you don't, we do have it in the store. It's under $3. It's not very expensive. Okay, so now we're going to start building the inside. So you have your cut apart papers on the inside, and everything is cut to size or printed to size. So all you're going to do, just like we did with our cover, is cut everything apart. Just cut right on these lines, and this is how we do all of our mini album page kits. They're super easy. You don't need any fancy supplies to do them. We also sell the bases by themselves. They're $7.99, and with a 12 by 12 piece of paper, you would only need one 12 by 12 per page. So I recommend using patterned, double-sided patterned paper so that 3 panels are one side, the final panel is the back side. You do have a choice of leaving the black line on or cutting it off. I put that there for you when I print these, just so that it's easier for you to find it and cut it. And some people say they like the black line. So it's definitely an option. And if Debbie or any of my staff are watching, can you post a link where they can purchase the mini album? I don't have a YouTube actually for the Nightmare Before Christmas one yet. I really need to get that out there. I will have a YouTube for this one. Once I'm done doing it here live on Facebook, I'm going to move it over to YouTube. So ink your edges. You're very welcome. I'm going to move my phone over here. It'll be easier for me to monitor questions as I do this. Thank you, Debbie. Now, if you purchase the I Want It All kit so that you get everything in today's event, this album is only $10. Otherwise, it's $34.99. And everything is made out of really sturdy cardstock. If you haven't purchased one of my albums yet. Okay. Now let's do some gluing. Oh dear, wrong place. Let's add a little bit more glue. And put it in the right place. What I love about the wet glue is if I screw it up, I can just take it off quickly and move it. Make sure your hearts are not upside down. Almost did it for the second time. Okay, and then on this one, we're just going to put glue on the two ends and press it down. Just like that. Okay. So let me show you how I decorated it. I don't think you need to watch me go through all of the pages, but let me pull my sample over. And we will go through it. So if you have your kit, you can just finish it up. I realized after I shipped that I forgot to send pictures. So we can definitely get that out for you. So the black portion of the frame is 4 by 4. The white is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. But I highly recommend that you save to add your frames until you put the pictures, because you definitely have room to go larger. And then I put this rose here with foam squares, and then I did glossy accents on the leaves. Here's my center page. So you'll see that this pocket is open, because if you have anything you want to add later, you could always like just tuck it into the pocket. Extra pictures, you can make a film strip and add in there. I did glossy accents on my flowers. And the frame again is the same size, 4 by 4, 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. So here is my bird. This frame is 3 1/2 by 4. And then the white is 3 3/4 by 3 1/4. And I did glossy accents here and on the sign that he was carrying. On this, I made a fold over. So this is done with a piece of black cardstock that is 4 by 8, scored in half, so at the 4-inch mark, and then adding your white panels. And then this panel here is here on your cut aparts. I use glossy accents. Excuse me. I use glossy accents on the dial and the heart and the flower. So now we're going to move to our next panel, which is this. So you're going to want to cut this apart just like we did the others. Ink your edges if that's something that you want to do. Okay. So here is my Be Mine Girl. And I did give you 2 of them. One with the light skin legs and then one with darker skin legs, depending on which one you prefer or which best fits. And then same thing here, just glue on your 2 edges and then the I love you tag. Oh, let me back up. So on this, I did glossy accent her shoes, the hearts, and then the ribbon across it. Probably would have been cute if I did glossy accent the flower as well. But you could have done the Be Mine. Okay, so now you have the I love you. I glossy accent the washi tape and the I love you. And then you have sending kisses. And I washi tape, glossy accent this piece here. Again, all of these are put on with foam squares to give it some depth. And then, hey you, I glossy accent these 2 pieces here. Now moving to our 3rd panel. You'll do the same thing. You'll have your page of cut aparts. So go ahead and cut them apart. Here's your piece of cake. I did glossy accent here on the frosting. And then only the red flowers to give it a little bit more character. When you open it up, you have these 2 cute little tags. So you can write a note. I glossy accent the French here and my cherries. On this one, I glossy accent my 3 hearts and my bow. Now on this panel, the love hung too low for me, so I just cut the top off, just like that. As you can see, and made it look like it was hanging over. I did the glossy accents on the red portion only, and I kind of did it a little crooked, skewed, I think is the term. And then the last page got coffee, and I did send you 2 of those. So depending on the skin tone that you need. And then from here, I did the glossy accents on the hearts and across the top of the brim. And that is my Valentine mini album. So thank you for watching, and our next up is Marnay with her banner. We've had some technical difficulties there, so she ended up posting it on her YouTube, and we are going to link to it. So if you have any questions on this, just pop it into the comment section, and I will see you again at 2 o'clock when I walk you through how to make my light up cards. Let me show you a sneak peek of my light up cards. So my 2 o'clock class are these light up cards. Let me turn this light off so you can see better, hopefully. So this is my Love with No Other. When you press, I don't know if you can see that when you press on here, his little house lights up. Hopefully you see that. And then this is my birthday one. When you press here, the candle flickers. So I will be walking you through how to make these 2 cards at 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. If you didn't get kits, there's still plenty there for purchase, and you can always go back and watch the videos later to see how to put it together if you don't have your kit so far. So I will see you later. Everybody have a blessed day. Bye.